Jeff the Killer, a staple of the internet, one of the oldest creepypastas to ever be created, and a character who is still relevant decades after his inception, which is why it hurts so much that recently the creator has been exposed as a genuinely deplorable person. From grooming to requesting nude pics of a girl far below age, this guy may be more sick and twisted than the character he created. But before we get into that, make sure to subscribe so that I can feed my starving family. So let's meet Caesar. Back in 2005 to 2006, he created this image. I don't think I even need to tell you what this image is or how famous it became. But yes, this guy is the creator of Jeff the Killer. And back in May of 2025, a document came out about both Caesar and also his brother. And while serious accusations were made about Caesar, the main focus of the doc was his brother. However, recently, as in the past few days, a new doc came out all about Caesar and the absolute horrible shit that this guy has done. And since I haven't seen anyone else cover it yet, I figured I'd be the first one. So this doc was written by a woman named Carol, someone who's been active in the community for years, and someone who's known Caesar and his brother since she was 13. While I'm going to cover the OG document later, it is important to note that some of the stuff talked about in this document happened as a result of the first one being posted. For example, when Caesar was made aware that the first doc got posted, he threatened to rape and beat this woman. He even tried to dox her, although apparently it's not even her address. Another thing that Caesar and his brother claim is that Carol, another YouTuber named Slimebeast, and others were part of a hate group that's basically extorting people for money. Not only is there no proof of this happening, but it's also made a point that if these guys cut her off like they claim to have back in 2019, how did they know what the victim looked like and sounded like years after cutting her off? Like into her adulthood. Because their claim is that they cut her off when they found out she was underage. There's also an image in this document of them debunking all the responses that Caesar and his brother gave to the first doc, so I'll throw it up here for a few seconds. You can pause to read all of that. And the next thing to happen is crazy. Someone hacks Carol's DeviantArt and starts acting like a fucking lunatic. Your email address has been changed. Hi, false accusations. Your email address has been changed. Hi, tell the truth, Carol. Please confirm your email address. Can't hide forever, Carol. And then they decide to DM someone on this account. 3 days. 3 days for what? 3 days. He's saying this like the fucking phone call from the Ring movies. So once Carol noticed this, she waited 3 days and, well, nothing happened. And while we cannot technically 100% confirm that Caesar or Brandon did this, we can take a pretty accurate guess, as this is something that Brandon has done before, threatening people with, I guess, a certain amount of time. Hi, C's or Brambo, whoever both of you all are thinking of making a game of an actual shootout to shoot people. Why don't we start with yourselves? You're first. See you on the 17th. Hey man, you like exploring it seems. I noticed you live 3 days away from me. Want to meet up and explore an abandoned apartment complex I heard about? Bring your little friend, too. It'll be a blast. Carol actually had a confrontation with Brandon about this in his comment section. They had a back and forth, and eventually Brandon actually deleted all of his messages. That's not great. So the next thing that they highlight that wasn't in the original document is that Caesar was grooming Carol before his brother did. Carol and Caesar met in 2017 on Newgrounds. Carol would be 13, and Caesar would be 24 at this time. And he was telling her things like he loved her. According to her, he would act cold towards her unless she sent him nudes. Also, he has a poop fetish. So that's cool. Back when he wasn't disfigured, he had some kinks. He loved the female booty and taboo roleplay. Any girlfriend he had, he made sure to dig himself right in eat it, spit it, and climb deep in her intestines during anal. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? What did I just read? What an amazing dumpster. It's not every day a man envies an apartment toilet. The reason, by the way, that this is relevant isn't just to shit on these guys for their... I gotta change the verbiage of that. It isn't just to dunk on these guys for their weird fetish. They actually manipulated Carol into participating in their weird fetish when she was 14 or 15. So yeah, that's why this is relevant. There's also a shit ton... I probably shouldn't say that for what we just read. But a ton of evidence that they knew her age when all this happened. Yeah, these guys are menaces. And real quick, this might be a question you have, because it was certainly a question I have. You may be noticing that these guys are going after the same girl. Apparently this is something they're into. My brother sold a movie deal to a studio in 90-210. He and I share everything from money to woman to a room. Carol says at 14 that she stopped talking to Caesar and started dating Brandon, which is the main subject of the first document. Before I get to that, there are a few other things to note in this document before it ends. The first one is that after the original document came out, someone investigated everything about Caesar and every single person involved in him and compiled it into a doc. I won't be covering it here, but I'm going to mention it and it will be linked below. I encourage you to go check that out. The second thing is that Brandon has been arrested before. He got 2 charges of domestic violence. I don't know if he was sentenced, but he did get charges for it. And this kind of leads me into the third part. After this whole drama, Brandon and Caesar got their families involved and got them to send mean things to Carol in hopes that would get her to stop completely exposing them for the pieces of shit they are. Now, I won't read every single message that was sent to Carol, but I will go over one message chain that their cousin sent to Carol on what looks like Facebook because it's a joy to read. So, allow me to bless you with some poetry. Hey, you a piece of shit. Get a fucking life and stay the fuck off my cousin name, you stupid bitch. If you was in front of me, I would blow your fucking brains out, whore. Waving emoji. Hey bitch, the fucking cops there got you in address tracked, so keep playing game Carol, spelled wrong. Yeah bitch, we know, and so they do, now you know. They got your IP address. Ha ha ha, laughing emoji. Go kill yourself. No one wants you, laughing crying emoji. You're fucking lame. You hide behind a fucking screen for enjoyment because you're probably fat, ugly, and your pussy stinks. You also fuck your mom and fuck your dad at playtime. Do me a favor, have your mom and dad tell you how much they regret having you, daddy whore. He told me he comes in your mouth for breakfast, bitch. That's probably not something you should say when he's being accused of grooming this girl. In his defense, he cut her off when he found out she was 13. So yeah, the rest of the family is just as crazy as these two. And if you want to know how it gets even funnier, apparently their whole family tree is a criminal record. Except Caesar, I think, somehow. But with that, we've gone over the first document. Now, I think it's important to go over the one that was released last May that goes over everything about Brandon. So in 2018, Brandon and Carol started dating when he was 21 and she was 14. There's proof all over for this. Apparently both Caesar and his brother are hardcore drug addicts, and there are DMs that make Brandon look as terrible as possible. Yeah, I know what I did. I'm glad you are aware of this, but unfortunately I will never forget. Did you told your parents? No, I didn't. I am relieved, lol. It's been so long you've grown up. You're a woman now. I still think it's weird that we're talking again after all. But I apologize to you. I was very immature. I didn't know what I was doing. You knew very well what you were doing, and you denied it. You told your brother I had lied to you. I was afraid you would report me. I won't. You're a good girl. I'm sorry I put you through this. So, yeah, he basically admits that he's a fucking freak. And apparently right now, he's dating a 54-year-old woman to get drugs from her. The same woman that he says he will kill while apparently actively having guns in his house. There's a little bit more, but that's basically everything. And with that, we've covered both documents. So how do I round this off? I think it's pretty obvious by now that this dude and his brother are weird as shit. They have been grooming this girl since she was 13, and thankfully while she's away from them now, these guys are clearly very mentally unwell, and it's likely that they'll repeat this behavior if more people aren't aware of how batshit crazy these guys are. Anyway, I'll link to all 3 docs in the description if you want to check out the stuff that I couldn't include, but I think that's the end of the video. Anyway, that's it. I don't know, join the Discord.
So, that being said, we are basically at the end of this guy's video. But, you know, this was off-putting. I mean, not too off-putting. Sometimes I'm starting to realize you never want to meet your heroes. And that's becoming a real thing all the time for me. But I did not know Jeff the Killer's creator was quite the piece of human garbage. Look, here's the thing. I feel like you can separate the creation from the creator. If the creator is a piece of shit, then you can just separate the creation from the creator and just be more of a fan of that. But the person behind the shit you don't have to like. But then again, you know, he'll try to be like, if you don't like me, then you don't like Jeff the Killer. No, I've liked Jeff the Killer since I was a middle schooler. I found the story very intriguing. It was fun to listen to. I listened to the what was the damn? I hate doing that shit with the D's, but fuck it. I listened to that one series that was talking about corruption, something. I'm sorry, Mr. Creepypasta read it multiple times. Yeah, that was probably the best spin-off series, or I believe it's a spin-off series that I've ever listened to. I liked listening to Lou's perspective of how things went down and how the aftermath for him in life went on. But I never got a part 2. Is there a part 2 of that? Jeff, Scars of Corruption? I remember it, Scars of Corruption. Is there anyone that can reach out and tell me if there's a part 2 of that series, or 3 or 4? There's like a ton of series that Mr. Creepypasta never read. It still pisses me off, man. There's a one that's like my haunted doll something is a roommate something. I don't know. I'll put it up there probably when I'm doing editing Neusxanity bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what we should be talking about. We should be talking about Caesar and his little ragtag, disgusting human beings of a family. The fact that this guy, I'm sorry, I think that's why I'm stuttering, y'all. The fact that this guy found it a-okay and normal to do what he was doing is crazy. Even those damn demons. Bro, I cannot help but stutter. I'm sorry. I cannot help but stutter because I'm just discombobulated by this shit. Those damn DMs with the minor is crazy. That's like the worst spelling I've ever seen. The worst grammar I've ever seen. Like, I've seen worse. Even I have my bad moments, but you know, minor spelling mistake, and then yeah, everyone corrects me. And, you know, nuclear truth goes off for some bullshit. It is so fucking annoying knowing that sometimes you just look up to these people and then you find out all these nasty, dirty shit, and you really honestly, genuinely want to believe them. But then, you know, shit goes to light and I can't just act like it's not there. So, you know, for me, it's just separate the creation from the creator type of shit. That's how it just works. That's why no one probably talked about it. People said things on it as of recent, but I'm pretty sure there's still going to be people who are doing more creepypastas of Jeff the Killer's little story and still keeps doing spin-offs, and it wouldn't matter. They just focus on Jeff the Killer, the creator. I'm not surprised if people stop giving him credit. That's just me, though. And that's how it should work, honestly. But, you know, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Hi, I'm Lucy Christian. I am the voice of Otako Uraraka, and you should subscribe to Neusxanity's channel. Peace out!